So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. And today basically we have to discuss our MCQ session set number 18. And that is basically belongs from the chapter number 7. Very, very important. Under that basically we have to discuss different things. Like the role of Exim Bank, Reserve Bank of India, FEDAI, ADR, GDR, all these things. Clear? All these things basically we have covered under that. Clear? So now basically we will take at least 2 to 3 sessions for the discussion of MCQs. Clear? In the every session, basically, we will try to discuss 10 to 15 MCQs. So let's start our today's discussion. The first question basically presents on your screens now. So which of the following feature is not correct in connection with the American depository receipt? Clear? Basically, is not correct in connection basically with the American depository receipts. Clear? American depository receipts. Clear? So first of all, what is an American depository receipt? Clear? First of all, basically we have to understand what is an American depository receipt. So basically it is represented as basically it is a stock. American depository receipt, basically it is a stock that trades. Clear? Basically that trades basically in which country? Basically that trades in the US. American depository, basically it is a stock basically that trades in the US, but represents a specific number of shares or specified number of shares in a foreign corporation. Clear? Basically specified number of shares in a foreign corporation. Clear? So ADRs are basically bought and sold on the American markets. Clear? They are basically bought and sold basically in the American markets, basically just like the regular stocks. Clear? Just like the regular stock, like basically we are purchasing in India. Clear? And selling. Clear? On the basically Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. Clear? This is like the common. Clear? That is basically that are traded in the US. Clear? Basically that are traded in the US. So which of the following basically it is not correct? Clear? So the US bank is a depository in this case. It is evidence of ownership of underlying shares. These are freely traded in US basically without actual delivery of underlying non-US shares, or none of the above. Clear? Or none of the above. Clear? So what is the correct answer here? Clear? So what is the correct answer here? Please tell fast. So what is the correct answer here? So as basically it is a little bit thinking over the question. Clear? So I request to all of you, please think over the question and comment in the comment section. Clear? What is the answer of this question? Clear? What is the answer of this question? Clear? I will tell you the answer in the end. So in the meanwhile, basically you can think over that. Clear? So now move to the next question. Clear? I have already tell you basically what is the definition. Basically it is a stock that trades in the US basically but represents a specified number of shares in a foreign corporation. Clear? Basically in a foreign corporation, and ADRs are basically are buy, or we can say that are bought and sold on American markets. Now move to the next point. Which of the following feature of GDR is not correct? Clear? Very, very important question. Clear? I will discuss which of the, like similar like ADR, this is a GDR. Clear? That is global depository receipt. Clear? Basically global depository receipt, and basically it is a certificate that is issued basically in more than one country, basically for shares in a foreign company. Clear? Basically for shares in a foreign company. Clear? So now let's discuss one by one all these points. Basically what? So the shares are acquired by a bank in Europe. Clear? The shares are acquired by a bank in Europe. So this one is the correct one. So basically global depository receipts. Clear? Basically global depository receipts. Clear? This is basically also called as the EDRs. Clear? Basically also called as the EDR. That is basically European depository receipts. Clear? Mainly this is also called as the EDRs. Clear? So these receipts basically can be traded in the stock exchange in Europe. Clear? Basically stock exchange in Europe. Clear? So this one is also correct one. Clear? That is, these receipts basically can be traded in the Europe. Yes. So the holders or holders of GDR can convert the GDR into shares that the SIP represent. Clear? The holder of GDR can convert the GDR into SIPs, into shares. Clear? Basically, they can be converted into the shares or regular stock. Clear? That the SIP represents. Clear? Basically, that the SIP represents. Clear? So this one is also correct one. Clear? So this one is also correct one. Clear? So option number D is that the holder, the GDRs carrying voting rights all the time. This is not correct. Clear? The GDRs carrying voting times basically all the time. This is not correct here. Clear? So option number D is the answer. That is, which one of the following is not correct? So option number D is not correct. Clear? So option number D is the answer. Clear? So please remember these things. Clear? So please remember these things. So GDRs are basically mainly traded in the European countries. Clear? In the European countries. And particularly in some cities, they are mentioning specifically regarding that London, Luxembourg. Okay. So now option number D is the correct answer. Now move to the next question. So very easy question. Why Exim Bank extends project finance for? Clear? Basically, Exim Bank extends project finance basically for Exim Bank's projects extends project finance basically for setting up oriented export oriented units or financing projects set up abroad by the Indian firms, guarantees payment for investment basically made by the Indian firms, or none of these. Clear? So please tell fast, what is the answer of this question? Exim Bank extends project finance for setting up export oriented units or financing up. Second one, that is financing projects basically set up abroad by the Indian firm. Third one is basically guarantees payment for investment basically made by the Indian firms, or fourth one, that is none of these. Clear? Fourth one, that is basically none of these. So according to me, the correct answer of this point, that is option number A. Clear? Basically, that is option number A. For setting up export oriented unit. Clear? Basically, for setting up export oriented unit. Clear? That is Exim Bank basically extends project finance basically for setting up export oriented unit. Clear? Basically, this we have covered under the part 1, chapter number 7, part 1. That is setting up export oriented units. Now move to the next question. Very easy question. Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FMEA. Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FMEA, came into force in, directly straightforward question. Clear? Basically, when this act basically came into force in. Clear? Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FMEA, basically came into force in June 1999, December 1999, June 2000, and December 2000. Clear? So basically, when this act basically came into force in. Clear? So Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FMEA 1999, came into force in June 1999, December 1999, June 2000, and December 2000. Clear? So basically, it came into force in June 2000. That is basically 1st of June. Clear? So this one, that is 1st of June 2000. Clear? Basically, this act came into force in. Clear? So please remember that. Clear? So please remember that. Clear? So before that, basically, which act exists? Clear? Before that, before FEMA 1999, basically, which act exists? For FEMA 1999, basically, which act exists? That is FARA 1973. Clear? Basically, FARA 1973, that is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. And one more question, basically, what are the objective of both these acts? Clear, basically, what are the objective of both these acts? Very, very important. Clear, sometime, basically, they will ask in the examination. First, here, basically, we will discuss regarding the FARA. Clear. So, what is the objective of the FARA? That is basically to conserve the foreign exchange and sources of the country. Clear. To conserve the foreign exchange clear. This is the main objective of the FARA, and to conserve the foreign exchange sources of the country and to ensure proper utilization. Clear, and to ensure proper utilization. Utilization. So on the other side, what is the objective of the FEMA? Is to facilitate external trade and payments. Clear, is to facilitate external trade and payments and to promote the orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange markets in India. Clear, and to promote the orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange markets in India. So please tell fast. Now it is clear to all of you basically what is the basic difference between them. Clear, in the examination basically many of the times basically they will ask what is the objective of the FARA or what is the objective of the FEMA. Please tell fast if you have any doubt, any query up to that much point. So now move to the next question, and I hope all of you basically will respond positively in that question also. That is TT buying, TT selling. Clear, that we have already discussed in the chapter first. Clear, in the chapter first also, very easy question. Clear, forward purchase contracts, if cancelled, would be at the bank which rate? Clear, basically forward, that is basically purchase contract, so basically it will cancel at the selling rate. Clear, so forward purchase contracts, if cancelled, would be at the bank's which rate? On the date of cancellation of the forward contract. Clear, on the date of the cancellation of the forward contract. Clear, yes, you are right. Basically forward purchase contract basically if cancelled would be at the bank's TT selling rate. Clear, basically would be at the bank's TT selling rate. Clear, on the date of the cancellation of the forward contract. Clear, on the date of the cancellation of the forward contract. Clear, very, very important. Clear, this question, it is very, very important because you will expect this type of question directly straightforward in the examination. Clear, this question is very, very important for the examination point of view. Clear, basically for the examination point of view, this question is very, very important. Clear. So now move to the next one. Clear, basically now move to the next one. So I think this question have already discussed. Clear, in any of the topics. Clear. So banking transactions where the counterparty is public. Clear. So banking transaction basically where the counterparty, that is the opposite party, is the customer or is the public, that is the bank customer, such as exporters, tourists, other needing foreign exchange or selling foreign exchange, are termed as which type of transactions? Clear, basically are termed as dash transactions: merchant transactions, international transactions, interbank transactions, or counterparty transactions. Clear, or counterparty transactions. Clear. So what is the correct answer regarding that? Clear. So banking transactions. where the counterparty is public. Clear? Basically, banking transaction, basically, where the counterparty is public. So that is bank customers. Basically, whom are the bank customers at that place? Basically, that are the exporters, tourists, other needing foreign exchange or selling foreign exchange are termed as not, these are not basically termed as the counterparty transactions. Clear? So interbank not, international no. Basically, these are known as the merchant transaction. Clear? This is the technical word. These are basically known as the merchant transactions. Please remember these things. Clear? Basically, these are basically known as the merchant transactions. Clear? Please remember these types of things. These are type of the merchant transactions. And there is one more word regarding that. Basically, what is merchant quotation? What is merchant quotation? Clear? Basically, what is merchant quotation? Clear? So in the merchant quotation, can anyone tell basically what is that? Basically, the exchange rate. The exchange rate basically in the merchant quotation basically shall be quoted in direct terms. Clear? The exchange rate basically shall be quoted basically in direct terms in the merchant quotations. Clear? So what is the meaning of direct terms? Clear? So what is the meaning of direct terms? Like basically 1 unit is equal to some rupees. Clear? Clear? 1 unit is basically, we can say that like some rupees and paisa. Clear? That is basically known as the merchant quotation. Clear? That is basically the exchange rate shall be quoted. Clear? So in that case, basically the exchange rate shall be quoted basically in the direct terms. Clear? The exchange rate basically shall be quoted in the direct terms. So please tell fast. This one is able to understand what is merchant transaction and what is merchant quotation. Now move to the next one question. So as per authorization, clear? So as per authorization basically given by the RBI, authorized dealers, clear? So basically as per authorization basically given by the RBI, authorized dealers basically may fix exchange rates. Clear? Basically authorized dealers basically may fix exchange rates basically for interbank and merchant transactions. Clear? Basically authorized basically may fix exchange rates basically for interbank and merchant transactions in all currencies. Clear? Basically in all currencies on the basis of, clear? Basically in all currencies on the basis of prevailing market conditions. Clear? On the basis of prevailing market conditions subject to the guidelines basically that may be framed by, clear? Basically subject to the guidelines. Clear? That guidelines. Clear? So as per authorization, that is authorization basically given by the RBI, authorized dealer basically may fix exchange rates basically for interbank and merchant transactions in all currencies. Clear? On the basis of prevailing market conditions subject to the guidelines that may be framed by, clear? That guidelines basically may be framed by Reserve Bank of India, Exim Bank, FEDI, Chief Controller of Import and Export. Clear? Basically Chief Controller of Import and Export. Clear? So that all rules and guidelines basically are to be framed by the FEDI. Clear? All these rules and guidelines are to be framed by the FEDI. So option number C is the correct answer here. Clear? Option number C is the correct answer here. Clear? That all rules and regulations basically are to be formed by the FEDI. Clear? FEDI. Now move to the next question. So as per the FEDI rules, clear? So as per the FEDI rules, if a purchased export bill, clear? As per the FEDI rules, if a purchased export bills remains unpaid, clear? Basically, if a purchased export bill, clear? That is payment is to not to be done. Clear? If a purchased export bill remains unpaid for a period of 30 days after the transit period, clear? In case of a demand bill, and the due date basically in the case of the usance bill, clear, and the due date, clear. Why basically due date? Basically in the case of usance bill, that is basically 25 days plus that days, clear. So as per FEDA rules, if a purchased export bill remains unpaid, clear, that the bill basically remains unpaid basically for a period of 30 days after the transit period, clear, basically after the transit period in the case of demand bills, and the due date basically in the case of usance bills, clear, and the due date basically in the case of usance bills, clear. So what will happen in that case, clear? So the matter basically should be reported to the RBI, clear. First one here, that is basically the matter should be reported to the RBI. Second one, the exporter's account be debited basically for the amount of the bill, clear. First one is basically the matter should be reported to the RBI. Second one, the exporter account basically be debited basically for the amount of the bill. Third one, the foreign currency amount be crystallized, clear. The foreign currency amount basically be crystallized and reversed from export bill purchase portfolio, clear. So the foreign currency amount be crystallized, clear. So the foreign currency amount basically be crystallized and reversed from export bill purchase portfolio, clear, and reverse basically from export bill purchase portfolio, clear. Or option number D is all of these, clear. Or option number D here basically that is all of these, clear. So what is the correct answer? So what is the correct answer here? The correct answer, that is option number C, clear. The foreign currency amount basically be crystallized and reversed from the export bill purchase portfolio, clear, and reversed from the export bill purchase portfolio, clear. So option number C is the correct answer here, clear. Option number C is the correct answer here. Now move to the next question. A beneficiary of inward remittance, a beneficiary of inward remittance of US 10,000 has claimed interest basically for the delayed payment, clear, basically has claimed interest. So what is the compensation basically he or she entitled to, clear? So a beneficiary of inward remittance of US $10,000 has claimed interest, clear, basically for the delayed payment, clear, basically has claimed interest basically for the delayed payment. So what is the compensation he or she entitled, clear? So basically how much basically they will get in that, clear. So basically how much basically they will get in that case, clear. So what is the interest rate? That is basically we can say that additionally basically they will get what is that amount of interest rate. So that is at 1%. Just if you are able to remember basically what is the percentage of that, you are able to answer the question, clear. 1%, 1.5%, 2%, or 2.5%, clear. Basically as we discussed, that is in case of transaction basically the seller bank basically shall pay an interest 2% above, clear. That is at 2% over the benchmark rate of the currency concerned basically for the period of delay, clear. Over 2% or at 2% over the benchmark rate, clear, at 2% over the benchmark rate basically of the currency concerned for the period of delay, clear, basically for of the currency concerned basically for the period of the delay, clear. So option number C is the correct answer here, clear, that at 2% over the benchmark rate basically of the currency concerned for the period of delay, clear, basically for the period of delay, clear. So option number C is the correct answer here, clear. Option number C is the correct answer here, that is at 2% over the benchmark rate of the currency concerned for the period of delay. Now move to the last question of our today's discussion, clear. So very, very important, clear. This question is also very, very important. So Mr. A returned from Denmark, clear, basically Mr. A returned from Denmark on 1st of May 2010. So while flying, he took 1,000 kroner, clear, basically he took 1,000 kroner and could not use 500 kroner, clear, basically, and could not use 500 kroner basically out of 1000, clear. So why, which date basically he should deposit that money basically to the authorized person, clear. He should deposit basically to the authorized person, clear, basically up to how much time, or basically within how many days, clear, basically they have to be submit back to the authorized dealer, clear, basically submit back to the authorized dealer, clear. That is basically there are some dates are mentioned, so please tell fast. What is the correct answer in that case, clear? What is the correct answer in that case, clear? 30th, that is basically, this is basically within 60 days. This is 30 days. And this is 90 days. Clear? I think there is a little bit error in the question. Basically, they have to deposit back the money that is basically within 180 days. Clear? That is basically within 180 days. Clear? Basically, while framing the question, I think they have, this is to basically, they have to be treated as 180 days in the place of 360 days. Clear? So by mistake, it is make as 360 days. Clear? So basically, they have to be, the traveler basically should surrender unspent foreign exchange. Clear? Basically within 180 days. Clear? That is basically within 180 days from the date of the return. Clear? That is basically within 180 days, basically from the date of the return. Clear? So basically, like basically we will create one more option that is basically with respect to the 180 days. Clear? So that will be the correct answer. Clear? So that will be the correct answer. Clear? Earlier, basically these guidelines are basically with respect to the 90 days, basically, but now they have to be changed. Clear? But now they have to be changed. Clear? So basically earlier, now basically presently it is 180 days. Earlier, basically it is 90 days. Clear? Basically earlier, basically it is 90 days. Clear? So basically this question, basically it is one of the, basically shared by one of the students that is basically asked in the examination. Clear? 3 to 4 years back ago. Clear? This type of question they have asked in the examination. Clear? At that time, basically there is basically they have asked on the basis of the 90 days. Clear? On the basis of the 90 days. Clear? But presently, basically it is 180 days. So please tell fast. Basically it is clear to all of you what we have discussed basically in this today's discussion. Please tell fast. It is clear to all of you regarding all these points. Basically whatever basically we have discussed. So there are some more questions left, which we have to cover in the next session. Clear? Basically, which we have to cover in the next session. Clear? In the next session, basically, I will try to cover 10 to 15 questions more. So thanks to all of you for joining this session. And in the next session, basically, we will discuss some more questions. So do revise all the topic and try to participate more and more. Clear? So your participation, it is very important for the discussion. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.